Piemonte, this is my home. So everybody loves home. And sometimes you love the home that is not maybe so beautiful. And in fact, it's funny, there is a way of saying, you know, that every bug is nice for the mother. But in this case, the Piemonte is a fantastic land. Today, you see all over you go in the winery, you find young people on the side with their parents. You find a lot of girls that are taking over, brilliant, they are fantastic. And so I think that this alone would be enough. But I think that also the wine that we drink today in general are even better. I mean, they were already great. But I think that the people keep on going to try to make always better and better wine, to become better and better farmers. So there is this important link between the people and the land that I think is the most sacred, the most important aspect of this area, which people can feel and appreciate.
I came here with a few names, a few recommendations. I didn't know anyone. I arrived in Alba, staying in a small hotel. I started to hitchhike around the Langhe region, some producers also in the Monferrato, knocking on doors at all hours of the day. I had the great fortune to meet a lot of the famous producers, fathers and grandfathers who now have passed on. But this region immediately gave me the sense that something's about to happen here. Piemonte, the Langhe, Barolo, Barbaresco has a very strong, deep tradition past. But it felt like it was a bit of a sleeping giant. And as we know, in the last 15, 20 years, the giant has awoken.
So I'm the oldest of the three sisters. I'm the fourth generation, and historically of the fourth generation we are the only woman which we decided to continue these activities. I grew up, I'm born in a family which they were very connected with the past, with the story, with the soil, and I think it's something that it grows with me. So, and every day I was sitting around the table with my parents, but with my grandparents, which they transmit me the passion, their life, their idea of work.
So my daily travels took me from village to village, knocking on doors, looking for a job. A lot of people remember this tall guy from the other side of the world hitchhiking around looking for a job. I actually had 4 opportunities, and then I came to the end of Via Rabaya, near the old railway station, which we are happy today that it's back up and running as another identity. Meeting Alberto de Grassi, who has to say has given me the opportunity to work not only in Barbaresco for a great wine producer, but have the chance to do a lot of things that has given me a lot of pleasure, a lot of hard work, a lot of satisfaction. and help to promote not just our wines, but the wines of this region, and above all the Nebbiolo grape, which we have to say today is really considered one of the most important red grapes on the planet.
Nebbiolo can really give life to so many different personalities in the wine. That's why we all are good friends, because we don't compete. We really express the soul of a specific parcel, and there are so many differences, so many fragmented realities in our hills. So Nebbiolo is really our core, and I think to understand, to be aware of this importance is what made a difference in the past years when the producers they started to focus to have a small and quality production. When they at the beginning they had no law, no system to protect their production. So my grandfather, together with many other producers, they met together many times to write the DOC and the DOCG, so our law, our legislation, to protect our job, to protect the production of farmers. And this was so important because you don't see big organizations in our area. This is a land where we have vine growers, the people, the families, they are the ones who work. And we try to respect our identity, and this is unique in the world.
The women, they need to stay at home. They need to cook, to grow up the babies, or but not to work in the vineyards, especially to prune. This was a disaster because this was only a man who was doing this, not a woman, and this was crazy for them to see me to work in the vineyard alone, to prune, to do everything in the vineyard. They was around looking at me with their hand in this way, and they say, and smiling also, because they think, okay, maybe this is just a joke. This is just a joke from maybe 6 months or 1 year, and then everything is done.
We have inside like a little treasure. Historically, we never got big investments in our region. It never was fashion. Now we are starting to see a different tourism, but in the past, Piemonte was considered very closed, and probably is because we already had enough to live without going out.
It's a funny one, this, because many times there was in stories you would hear that the Piemontese are very closed, very reserved, not so very open, not so maybe trustworthy of other people. But in my first years here, I discovered it's completely the opposite. So really there were people that didn't have a knowledge of really where the world was. Actually, some of the people from Barresco didn't even go to Barolo, because if you didn't have a cousin or an auntie or a connection there, most of the families in the villages here are kind of all related in one way or another.
It's a huge garden, and the love that the people put in the work, but also in the beauty of the country is touching. Beside the beauty is the quality of the products that we are gifted with. So the wines are amazing, the food is great, but the people is unique. So I have to say the Piemontese at the beginning can be a little bit close and then maybe a little bit keeping you at a distance, but when you open their heart, oh, then it's really home. It's home for everybody.
Piemonte is Piemonte. It is the land of the land. And I hope that no one ever forgets that, not here and not far away.